Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger in for Jay and Janelle tonight. After days of terror, federal law enforcement has a suspect in a string of mail-delivered bombs. Those bombs sent to more than a dozen critics of the president. The manhunt took law enforcement to Florida. A Florida man with a long rap sheet is in custody tonight. CBS News correspondent Hillary Lane is in New York, where several of those mail bombs were found.
Federal law enforcement led a handcuffed Cesar Sayak into an FBI office after arresting him Friday.
Yeah, we just took him into custody.
Thomas Fiore witnessed the arrest outside an auto parts store in Plantation, Florida.
Law enforcement literally come out of every single angle.
The 56-year-old suspect is accused of sending at least 13 mail bombs to critics of President Trump and prominent Democrats. His van is covered with pro-Trump and anti-Democrat stickers. Sayak is a registered Republican who posted often on social media. President Trump addressed the arrest at a rally in Charlotte.
Political violence must never, ever be allowed in America, and I will do everything in my power to stop it.
Investigators say a fingerprint, DNA evidence on the devices, and a cell phone signal led them to Sayak.
They uncovered a latent fingerprint from one of the envelopes containing an IED. We have confirmed this fingerprint is that of Cesar Sayak.
4 additional packages were found Friday addressed to New Jersey Democratic Senator Cory Booker, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, Democratic Senator Kamala Harris, and billionaire donor Tom Steyer. The package addressed to Clapper using CNN's address was intercepted here at this postal facility in Manhattan. Sayak's mother's attorney says he's mentally ill.
He lives in a fantasy world. This is a sick individual.
Sayak is scheduled to make his first court appearance Monday in Miami. He could face as many as 48 years in prison if he's found guilty of federal charges, including illegally mailing explosives and threatening a former president. Hillary Lane, CBS News, New York.
Well, the Postal Service says employees will be scouring the mail system over the weekend for any remaining packages. The FBI says they were not hoaxes and could have exploded if exposed to heat or pressure. Other news tonight, Billings police say there's a vehicle of interest already in their possession in the case of a missing Billings woman, but they are again asking for the public's help with more information. 49-year-old Laura Johnson went missing September 14th, and police have identified this vehicle as being of interest in the case. Their search area has now widened. Detectives are looking for anyone who saw that truck around September 15th in the areas of Shepherd, Huntley, Warden, or in the area of Pompey's Pillar. Now, according to family, Woods was in an abusive relationship and has not been in contact with anyone for weeks. If you've seen that truck, Billings police would like to hear from you. $1 million to help combat meth in the state of Montana. That's how much money the Montana Highway Patrol is getting to try and combat the drug. It's part of a Department of Justice grant, and it'll help fund additional troopers, buy equipment, and invest in training. The vast majority of meth in Montana comes from Mexico, and it's trafficked into the state by our highways. Just last year, the Montana Department of Justice formed a specialized criminal interdiction team to focus more on organized drug trafficking activities. Montana was one of only 9 states to receive such a grant. President Donald Trump is planning yet another trip to Montana. For the 4th time in as many months, the president is coming to Montana to try and help the Senate race's toss-up status fall to the right. CBS News confirms that the president plans to hold 10 rallies in 6 days to campaign for Republican candidates prior to the November 6th midterm elections. The president plans to hold rallies in Montana, Missouri, West Virginia, Indiana, Ohio, Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida. There's no word on an exact date or location, but the president's next stop in Montana will be in Bozeman, it appears. And according to the Bozeman Police Department, its staff was notified by the Secret Service earlier this week to prepare for the event. Republicans and Democrats are ramping up their rhetoric on immigration. In a CBS News Battleground Tracker poll, 6 in 10 voters in key districts say immigration will be a very important midterm issue. Meg Oliver reports from the Congressional House District in Texas that shares the most border with Mexico.
As the country watches thousands of Central American migrants inch toward the U.S. border, San Antonio resident Martha Torres can't help but think of her own family who immigrated from Mexico.
It makes me think of the heartbreak and the struggle that's going on the other side of the border.
Torres lives in Texas's 23rd Congressional District, where the federal government is holding hundreds of unaccompanied minors who cross the border in a tent city. Arrests of illegal immigrants along the entire Mexico border jumped 30% in September.
We need border security policies that are strong.
Democrat Gina Ortiz-Jones is running to represent Southwest Texas in Washington.
We have to ensure that, again, we have an immigration policy that is based in the rule of law and reflects our values.
Ortiz-Jones is challenging Republican incumbent Will Hurd, who openly disagrees with parts of President Trump's border policy.
I do believe that building a 30-foot-high concrete structure from sea to shining sea is the most expensive and least effective way to do border security.
This is a swing district stretching more than 800 miles along the U.S.-Mexico border from here in San Antonio to El Paso. The majority of residents are Hispanic, but historically, voter turnout is low.
So could immigration change this election?
No. Look, it's an issue that people have been dealing with 820 miles of the border.
Ortiz-Jones agrees. Voters in Southwest Texas have other concerns.
We're the most uninsured state in the country.
She expects voters are thinking more about health care than immigration in the 23rd District. Meg Oliver, CBS News, San Antonio, Texas.
All right, turning to the weather now, Bob. A lot going on this weekend. Will the weather be playing tricks, or will we get a treat?
I think it's going to be wet on both ends of the weekend. Let me show you what we're talking about. We start off with this. As you'll see, we have a cold front moving in tomorrow morning, about 6 o'clock. It's going to be blowing through the Billings area, bringing wind, cool conditions, and rain moving through. But then Saturday afternoon, high pressure builds in, push that away, and we're looking at mostly sunny skies. We'll keep those sunny skies throughout most of the day on Saturday and the early part of Sunday. But then on Sunday afternoon and at night, here comes another cold front going to blow on through and bring us a chance for some additional rain and snow showers. So here's the way it looks. It's going to be 62 for a high on Saturday with rain in the morning, a good chance of that. Then on Sunday, back up to 65 degrees before the next cold front moves through, but then a 30% chance for rain showers moving in after that. And then as we go into next week, we could see rain mixing with snow. We'll have more about that in a few more minutes. Russ?
Well, skiers across Montana praying for snow, and with opening day at Red Lodge Mountain just under a month away, it's the perfect time of year to be daydreaming about the mountain. The Silver Run Ski Swap filled the Shrine Auditorium tonight with plenty of boots, bindings, and coats to go around. 25% of consignment proceeds made at the swap go towards the Silver Run Ski Team. The nonprofit ski team teaches all skiers, old and young, the sport of competitive skiing. That team will use the proceeds to help pay for ski gear and gas to get up the mountain. With this ski swap, Silver Run hopes to make the sport of skiing more affordable for everyone.
I think just the fact that this is really a youth-focused organization, and so many people have this misconception that skiing is kind of a rich kid sport, and nothing can be further from the truth. We work really hard at Silver Run and Red Lodge Mountain to make skiing affordable and skiing accessible for everybody. So yeah, if you haven't tried skiing, you're never too old to come out and check it out.
The sale continues tomorrow as well at the Shrine Auditorium from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Well, early this morning, we welcomed more than 100 women to the Q2 studios for our 9th annual Pink Breakfast. As Samantha Sullivan shows us, it's a very special morning.
How's everybody doing? All right.
Despite an early wake-up call, the studios here at Q2 were quickly flooded by a sea of pink. We welcomed old friends, and some new ones too.
Who's got 077? Ho!
This year marks the 9th annual Pink Breakfast, bringing together cancer survivors and caretakers for a morning of food, fun, and support.
A toast to Deb Matters. We miss you, Deb. We miss you, Deb.
These people all brought together by a common diagnosis. It's a community that no one asks to be a part of, but it's something beautiful that has come out of such an ugly disease. A sisterhood of women, survivors, warriors in pink, all bonded together to celebrate life. Samantha Sullivan, MTN News.
Now, coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, 20 years later, a brutally murdered Wyoming man moved to his final resting place in Washington, D.C. We're going to take you there. And in sports, rivals Senior and West closing out the regular season tonight against each other. Scott shows us how it ends, also has the playoff seedings.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.